Jai Hind students. In our previous videos and online classes, we discussed about triangles and its basic classification on the basis of angles and sides. It was your homework to cover this topic too. So today we are here and we are going to study about medians and altitudes. So let's begin the topic. What is a median? So in a triangle, there are three different sides. You know that in a triangle there are three sides, three vertices, and three angles. Angle. So AB, BC, and AC. There are three different sides in a triangle, which is shown here on the screen. So we need to know a term which is called bisecting point or the midpoint. For the line segment BC, which is the side of this triangle, we have a point here which is point D, and point D is that point which divides the side BC into two equal parts. First part is BD and second part is DC. BD and DC, they both are equal, therefore point D is called midpoint of BC. Just half of the BC is equal to BD. Now if we join this midpoint to the opposite vertex of the triangle, the line segment which is formed, which is AD, is called median of the triangle. Let me repeat it. For this side BC, A is the opposite vertex, so we have to meet the midpoint of BC to the opposite vertex, which is A. And the line segment which is formed now is called median of the triangle. In a triangle, if BA is a side, then just opposite to this side we have the vertex C, and if AC is a side, just opposite to this side B is the vertex. So you need to understand opposite side and opposite vertex in a triangle. What is that? In a triangle, if the vertex which is just opposite to the side, which you can see just next to the side, is called opposite vertex. So median is a line segment which is formed when we meet the midpoint of the base, the midpoint of the side, and opposite vertex. In a triangle, there are three different medians. In this triangle you can see there are three different sides. D is the midpoint of BC, but for AC we have another midpoint which is called E, and E is the midpoint of AC. If we meet this E to the point B, we have another median. Now B is the second median of the triangle. Second median of the triangle. We have BA, the third side of the triangle, and midpoint of this side is F. Now if we meet this F to the opposite vertex, and for AB the opposite vertex is what? Just next to it is C. So if we meet this C and F, we get another median of the triangle. So we can see in a triangle we have three different medians. So our conclusion is, in a triangle there are three different medians. And what is a median? Median is formed in a triangle when midpoint of a side is joined by a line segment to the opposite vertex. Then we have altitude of a triangle. What is that? In a triangle, if from a vertex perpendicular line is drawn to the opposite side, then the line segment which is formed is called altitude. Actually, altitude means height of a triangle. And to find that, what we do, we just draw a perpendicular line from a vertex to the opposite side of the vertex. And for this vertex which is shown here, for vertex A, BC is the opposite side. Just draw a line at 90 degree, and this line is called altitude of the triangle. Again you see, for AC, B is the opposite vertex, and if we draw a perpendicular line from B to AC, this is called second altitude of the triangle. First altitude is what? First altitude is AD, and second altitude is BE. Similarly, we can find one more altitude, and which is formed here, and if it is F, it is CF. So in a triangle there are three different medians and three different altitudes. If we are given a right angled triangle, in that condition you should know one thing. Triangle ABC, in triangle ABC, for this side BC, point A is the opposite vertex, and if we draw a perpendicular line on BC, we have AB as our altitude, because the perpendicular line segment from opposite vertex to a side of the triangle is called altitude. So here AB is the altitude. And again, for AB, C is the opposite vertex. So if we draw a perpendicular line on AB, it is CB. So CB is the altitude. So CB is the altitude of the triangle. So right here, CB. And for this AC, you have this side, and it is here D. So BD is the altitude here, because for AC, B is the opposite vertex. You can see for AC, B is the opposite vertex. If we draw a perpendicular line on AC from point B, that is again an altitude. So here, these are the three line segments which are our altitude.